Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start this lesson off by giving all honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim, starting with the 144,000 men that are laboring diligently in this truth, pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, peace and blessings to the remnant, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, consisting of men, women, and children, all right, that have turned their hearts back to the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly call God, and Jesus, who their correct names are Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right. So, hey, it's your brother Kazak Tazabah coming at you once again through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And this was a video that was done about an hour ago by, as you can see, his YouTube channel is This is John Williams. It says the elite know something. What they are doing, I'll just say, it says the elite know something. What they are doing says everything, okay? So he kind of goes into how, these elites, okay, are gearing up, okay, getting ready for what's to come. Okay, now while the mass majority of people aren't, paying attention, okay, they're completely lost in the sauce. All right, those are the people that's going to get, blindsided. But here he is just, speaking on some of the facts of, some of these so-called leaders, okay, of what they're doing, in these last few months, okay. You got to remember there's a lot of things that was done last year. Remember the senators getting their satellite phones and, New York, preparing for, they did like a commercial or something preparing for, an EMP or some kind of radiation exposure and things of that nature. But, hey, we know what's going on, okay? And I think I'm going to title this lesson, something along the lines of, they think we don't know, or something along those lines. But, hey, may the Spirit guide me on that. But needless to say, I'm going to just go ahead and play this video, and then we're going to speak on it as we go. So, like I said, Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. Okay, so let me get the Bible ready. All right, we go from there.
As John here, what do the world's elite know that we do not know? Mark Zuckerberg has notoriously been building this massive bunker in Hawaii. Everyone knows this.
Mark Zuckerberg has started to prepare for the doomsday. The Facebook founder is creating a compound which also features a doomsday bunker.
But then at the same time, selling $500 million worth of stock. Warren Buffett liquidating $8 billion in stock. Ray Dalio selling. You have Jamie Dimon selling $140 million in stock.
Now, these top people who have a great influence on this country, all right, they have shares in the stock market. Now, the fact that they're selling, 1 million shares or $8 billion worth or a $500 million or whatever the case is. The point of the matter is that, they're selling it, okay, because, they're trying to preserve themselves, okay, because they know that this is, if they were to keep their money in this system, it'll eventually crash, okay, and they'll lose all the money that they've invested in. So for them to keep it safe, what are they doing? They're pulling out, okay? Let's keep playing.
CEO Jamie Dimon is set to sell 1 million of his shares.
At today's levels, that amounts to roughly $140 million.
And you have all of these executives and CEOs all stepping down. I mean, look at this. CNBC, why American CEOs quit in record numbers in 2023. They say 1,500 CEOs quit. 1,500. This is the highest number of departures since they started tracking the data in 2002, right? So over 21 years, this is the all-time high. Now you have to ask yourself why. What are we walking into? Are we walking into something very, very interesting, to say the least? I think we are. In fact, I think they know something we don't know. And in this video, I'm going to break it down and show you exactly who is doing what, where they're all going, and what's exactly happening. I think that 2024 could be the year that changes the entire world that we know. Please.
You hear that? You know, and this is just someone from a economic standpoint, okay, who believes that, you know, the world in which we know, okay, is about to change, okay, and we believe that to be true. Now, spirit on a spiritual sense, you know, because we see that a lot of the prophecies, okay, that are happening are taking place. Okay, the scriptures in the 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter says, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, then thou shalt know, you know, that the end is nigh," or something along those lines. You know, let me just pull it up real quick. Just get it here. Second Ezra chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world in which he made." Okay, and so hey, we're measuring the times, man. Okay, we're measuring the times, therefore we know we're at the end. Okay, but this is based off of a prophecy foundation. You know, these, you know, economic gurus, if you will, are base it off of, facts, charts and, graphs and, politics and things of that nature. Now, and that's not to say that we don't pay attention to those too, because we should, okay, because we will have to, correlate that to what's being spoken of, what's being written in the scripture, okay. But that's the standpoint. That's his standpoint, and that's where a lot of these other, preppers and you got the Canadian prepper and all these different people that are paying attention, but on a carnal standpoint. Okay, so the fact that he says that 2024 could change the course of America, it says a lot, because we too believe that. Because hey, through the Spirit. What did the Apostle Elder Tahar coin this year to be? The 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and we foresee it. Now he's going to go further into, as to why 2024 could be it. But hey, it's being acknowledged. Okay, it's being made aware, and that's the Lord putting the Spirit on people that to pay attention to what's going on. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Now, who is the he? It's talking about Jacob. All right, and this is the time that we're coming into.
Vitamin or credit report, go to Great Credit worth of bank shares. And the reason is financial diversification and tax planning purposes, meaning he thinks things are probably going to hit the fan. He wants to get some risk off the table. That's what that means. So when you have him liquidating all this stock, and then you have Jeff Bezos, this came out about a month and a half ago. Amazon founder's planning to sell another $1 billion in shares, and he may have a reason to sell more, right? You have
now just a billion shares isn't just a $1 billion at that, neither, because a share could range from, penny shares, penny stocks and things of that nature. But a stock or a share of a stock can range anywhere from as low as cents on end up to, a couple $100. So if you look at the market in which Amazon is, well, I'm not too sure of what the amount of one share for Amazon is, but I'm quite sure that this is up there, because Amazon is one of those high utilized companies in America, let alone the world right now, because everything is convenient. You go on your phone, you add, put get your items, put them in your cart, you check it out, and it's at your house. Okay. So a lot of people invest into this business. Therefore, the price of a share could be as high as, who knows, $200, if not more. So if he's selling over 1 billion shares, what that it can equate to, $200 billion, if not more. Okay.
9 billion worth of stock sold just from corporate execs and billionaires this year. You have Warren Buffett liquidating 8 billion. This is November. Like, all of this has happened in the last 60 days, right? You have Zuckerberg selling $500 million worth of Meta shares. Now, what's shocking here is that all of these billionaires, all of these really wealthy executives, they can easily take out a loan against their stock, and they'd be able to hold on to their stock, they'd be able to get their cash, they'd be able to make the investments they want to make. The only downside is that if the stock crashed, they would get margin called, and they'd be forced to liquidate stock to sell to meet the obligations of that loan. And so the only reason that they're not selling, I believe, is because they think there's a chance that the stock could crash, they'd get margin called, and it would cost them even more.
See, they don't want to lose their money. They don't want to use their portion of that stock or that share. See?
So when you're looking at all these situations, you're like, all right, well, maybe they think, things might, we might see a little pullback in the market or in the economy. But then there's this rumor that 15 billionaires are building bunkers. Like, some of them are saying that, it's all in like the last week. They're all moving in the.
So before we get into the bunker, I want to bring out a precept, because I want to just highlight something real quick. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, and chapter 1, start of verse 9. It says, "In the same day also will I punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their masters' houses with violence and deceit." Okay, and that's exactly what this place is built off of: violence and deceit. All right, through the rape, rob, and murder of our people. All right, through the deception and the lies. Okay, you get an acre, after slavery, a physical hard labor slavery, during the quote unquote emancipation, we were obligated to get a acre and a mule or something like that. Hey man, that was a lie, man. That was deceit, and it was all it was just a translation or a transaction from state to federal in terms of the slavery. Hey, so we're still slaves, man. Ever since we were born. That's why everything on your birth certificate is written in caps, all caps. Okay, anything that's written in all caps is considered to be part of a corporation or a business, or you're a product. Okay, and we're a product of Babylon, But reading on, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." Okay, there will be a economic crash. Okay, the crash is coming to America. Okay, and the state of the America's economy, okay, also affects other countries that utilize America for trade, commerce, okay, oil, all these different things. But the most important thing is the petrodollar. All right, the dollar, and that's what these BRICS nations and all these other countries are trying to inhibit, okay, or disable. All right, through bringing a form of another currency backed by gold and silver. All right. And the whole de-dollarization aspect of it is going to, come through. It's going to fall through. All right. But you can very well, expect the economy to crash. All right. We're coming up on the the debt ceiling. We just hit 34 trillion in debt. Okay, we got they're in Congress they're talking about another shutdown looming because of the amount of debt. All right, that's supposed to end in like February sometime. Hey man, so the first quarter, the end of the first quarter of 2024 could be the start of the downfall of what we know to be America. Okay, that's when we can really start to see things start picking up, and it's like a snowball effect. Okay, start small, and then it's just going to gradually increase. Verse 11, it says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." Okay, so all those who have great riches, okay, all the money, billions worth of shares in the stock market, okay, Wall Street, hey man, all this is going to come crashing down here very soon. And it says, all they that bear silver are cut off. Okay. Heaping up money for the last days. All right. Knowing that, these things aren't going to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, man. It's not going to deliver them. So yeah, they can go ahead and get their bunkers, things of that nature, but it's not going to mean anything very soon.
This direction, 15 billionaires, right? So if this is happening, if they are all doing this, you have to ask yourself why. They're saying, this is unfounded, right? But it's all over the place. Everybody's talking about this. And then you have Zuckerberg building this behemoth of a $270 million bunker, this massive estate. He's buying tons of land for it. The bunker itself is 5,000 square feet. 5,000 square feet. He's able to, produce food inside. He's able to do all these different things. Now, maybe he's doing this for, he's just got so much money and it doesn't really matter. But when you see all these other people like Sam Altman talking about this, Peter Thiel talking about this, he says that, I don't have a bunker, but I do have structures, right? That's just one way of rephrasing it. What he's saying is that he believes that it could be because of AI. He believes that, he says on stage at the Wall Street Journal Tech Live event on Tuesday, Altman was asked if he was concerned with the developments of AI and that had a bunker prepared. I would say no, he told the Journal. I have structures, but I wouldn't say a bunker. None of this is going to help if AGI goes wrong. This is a ridiculous question, he says, and AGI refers to artificial general intelligence or AI that can perform intellectual tasks that a human being can do, right? So he's more concerned about AI being the big problem. But you have to ask yourself, if you have Sam Altman saying that things could really hit the fan here, you have, even Jeff Bezos buying a property in a really exclusive community called Billionaire's Bunker, and this Billionaire's Bunker, it's interesting because they're even talking about Billionaire Bunker right here, saying celebrities like Ivanka Trump and Tom Brady have also bought property on Billionaire Bunker. Bloomberg reported that the week Jeff Bezos spent $79 million on a second mansion on Indian Creek next to another property.
You look at that, you got Trumps, you got celebrities, people of high credibility, Tom Brady, you got the Kardashians, you got all these people with heaps of money that are going about building up doomsday bunkers. Now, there's a lot of people who you see, who you expect, or who you look at that may be, like a stand-up person or upright. But hey, man, they're all wicked to some degree, man. Okay, just look at the list from the Epstein situation. You just see some of a list of the names. Now, you got people on there like Robert De Niro. Okay, I saw a list. It was a whole bunch of different names. But you're looking at the names and you're like, damn, wouldn't have expected that person to be on there, But that doesn't negate the fact that, once you get past a certain tax bracket, or when you get into a certain tax bracket, you fellowship with these people. You rub elbows with these people. You are in the know in terms of certain things that may come down the pipe. Okay, so the fact that they're doing this, okay, but it says a lot. Now we obviously speculate and we know it to be true through the scriptures. All right, we could have told you this a long time ago, but the fact that they're actually doing it now, okay, goes to show that we're at the end of this thing, man. You know, let me get the book of Amos. You know where I'm going? Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9 and verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. All right. So digging into hell, that's not talking about, you know, in the pit, in the pits of the earth, you know, and it's, you know, fire and brimstone, and you got a red man down there with horns and a pitchfork. No, that's not the hell that it's referring to. It's talking into the earth. Okay. They dig into the ground, right? To do what? To build doomsday bunkers. It says, then shall mine hand take them. Right? It says, though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. You know, that proud sense of, you know, way of thinking, you know, they're trying to, you know, also go into space, you know, seeing how can they escape. Right? That's why they keep sending up these rockets. The Tesla guy, what's his name? Elon Musk, right? Verse 3, it says, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, which is a mountain, it says, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. All right. It says, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. Okay, so hey, no matter which way they try to go, man, okay, the Lord is gonna follow them. All right, the judgment of the Lord is gonna get them no matter what. Okay, and if they escape the missiles, okay, guess what? Those fishers, okay, that'll be turned hunters pursuant to Jeremiah the 16th chapter. All right, hey, they're gonna come bind them up. Okay, and put them in fetters of iron and chains, man.
Property he bought this summer for $68 million. It's unclear if these purchases have any relation to a doomsday planning, right? So, you know, it's very fascinating. It's very fascinating how all of these wealthy people are all doing something very, very similar. I mean, look at Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio, all throughout 2022, he's been making these claims that, you know, we could be walking into a civil war. The civil war here. Everything is about civil war. And you know, August 30th, February 3rd, right? When he keeps talking about this, and then he says that the billionaire warns that America's massive wealth gap could lead to conflict. What he's...
I'm going to bring that back because...
Right? When he keeps talking about this, and then he says that the billionaire
warns that America's massive wealth gap could lead to conflict. Exactly. Because that's exactly what happened, you know, back in, obviously there was other things that caused it, but the Civil War back in the 1800s, okay, where they, you know, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer, all right, and they pretty much, you know, eliminated the middle class as a whole, all right, therefore there was conflict between the two, you know, different tax brackets, if you will, okay, which is going to cause a civil war. You're going to get people who, which is the majority, okay, of the majority will be the poor class, okay, and because they're not going to be getting the health care that they need, the jobs, the income, okay, to be able to provide for their families, all right, they're, you know, clawing tooth and nail just to try to make ends meet, whereas the rich are just getting richer just by sitting on their ass building doomsday bunkers. You know, there's going to cause conflict in the earth, man. Okay, and he's going to go into it a little bit more.
Warns that America's massive wealth gap could lead to conflict. What he is saying, and what I believe he means, is that we could walk into a situation where inflation gets a lot worse. The standard of living continues to continues to tank. And Americans get fed up with it. And we start to see this massive conflict where the billionaires and the multi, centimillionaires are running for the hills, right? We could see a situation like that, at least according to Ray Dalio. And interestingly, there's a movie coming out in the spring of 2024 called Civil War.
Check it out. Civil War. Remember? Hey, brothers have been talking about this movie that's supposed to be coming out in April. Okay. And coincidentally, and hey, it's not a coincidence. It's really all through the Spirit of the Lord. Okay. Hey, that's when that solar eclipse is supposed to happen. It's supposed to go across, I want to say, the southwestern region up to the northeastern region. Okay. And that's in April, the same time this movie is supposed to air. Okay. And that marks, X marks the spot because there was another one back in, I want to say 2017. Okay. Which was about, 7 years? 7 years ago. You see? So Babylon is about to get it, man. That can very well be the start of this, like going back to what I mentioned earlier. After the first quarter of 2024, the first quarter ends, at the end of March, the beginning of April. You see? So, hey, man, April could be the month that things expedite, man. And it starts to snowball effect. Things are going to get gradually worse. Okay, but we anticipate it, man. And we're ready through the Spirit, man. This is what we've been waiting for our whole lives. Literally, in our previous lives, man, through the Spirit.
Right? It's literally called Civil War. They say, this Reddit thread says, get ready for a cinematic twist. As the new Civil War movie is set to hit screens ahead of 2024, some might call it entertainment, others see it as predicted programming. What are your thoughts on this upcoming film and its potential impact on public perception? It almost seems like they're getting ready to normalize all this, just like they did with that movie, Leave the World Behind. This movie, a lot of what they said in this movie, and many people could say also predicted programming, right? So when we're looking at all these chain of events, you just have to ask yourself, is this something worth paying attention to? The wealthiest, most powerful executives are liquidating stock, stepping down from their roles, and buying largest. I really look. What are the odds? You have Ray Dalio, you have Zuckerberg, you have Sam Altman, you have Peter Thiel, you have all these billionaires all doing the same exact thing right around the same exact time, all planning for the same types of events.
That's because they're all in the know, man. They're all in the know of what's to come. All right. They're not going. You think these so-called elites are going to tell the people at the bottom? You think they're going to tell the poor, the lowly, the people, the GP, the regular people? Hell no, man. Once you get past a certain, like I said earlier, once you get past a certain tax bracket, man, you become a part of a club. Okay. And if you're outside of that club, if you're not in the club, hey, man, you're casted out, man. You're not like them, So, hey, so when it comes to, don't be surprised that they have meetings and they gather and they get together and, all the celebrities, all the actors and actresses, the football, baseball players, basketball players, politicians, whatever. They're all a part of this thing, man. Why else would they be doing it? It only makes sense.
Now they say here, Sam Altman says, it could be, look at this. They say it could be climate, could be zombie apocalypse, it could be nuclear, right? I personally think it's going to be more like what Ray Dalio is talking about.
And it will. Okay, this is how it's going to start. It's going to start with the Civil War. Okay, it can very well start with the economy crashing, and then gradually turn into a civil war. Okay, it could be EMP, catching everybody off guard. And essentially it will come to become nuclear. However, there's steps. There's a process that's going to lead to that. Okay, because hey, we still got to wait for martial law. Martial law has to be in full effect. And the only way martial law is going to come is if, let's just say, civil war to happen. So civil war has to come before martial law. Okay? Or EMP happens and then martial law comes, or EMP comes, then civil war, and then hey man, there's no telling. We don't know what the Lord has in store or when it's going to happen, but we do know that it's coming. Okay, there's no negating that. All right,
which is going to be a civil type of war. Like that's what I think is going to be more likely to happen, because they said inflation's transitory. They said that everything was going to be okay. That was a couple years ago. You go outside. I mean, you can't leave your house for less than $100. Everything.
Because hey, that was then. That brings me to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, right? Which is what he's saying. A couple years ago, right after the whole C-19 thing, right? Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief, right? Because, hey, we've been in the know through the Spirit of the Lord. Okay, the Lord has opened our eyes for us to be able to see these things before they come. All right, but a lot of these people are still in darkness. It talks about in Isaiah the 60th chapter. All right, darkness in the earth, gross darkness the people. Hey man, so these people are in pure darkness, man. They're not going to know what's to come. All right, and they don't expect it to happen anytime soon. You got people preparing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Okay, not knowing that they could very well pop off this year, man. All right, so really, it's really going to, even though they're over here prepping, on a carnal sense, they're still going to get caught off guard. Okay, because people don't expect it to happen so soon.
Is extremely expensive. And when you look at the spending in which we're doing in America, you look at the direction in which this country is going, it looks like it's only going one way, which is down. It looks like this situation is only going to likely get a lot worse. And so people need to prepare and plan for this. What I mean by that is, figure out a way to make more money, figure out a way to reduce debt and expenses, figure out a way to, buy options. Because in this uncertain world.
Now he's going off here because obviously we know that, riches profit not in the day of wrath. All right, so investing and buying options and doing all trading and all that stuff ain't gonna do nothing. It's not gonna save you. All right, it's not gonna benefit you at all, because the ultimate goal of all of this is what? For them to put the C-hip in you, man. So they can have full control of your spending, of your expenses and your, how much you spend and your records. Okay, that's the ultimate goal. So don't even waste your energy. All right.
Options is the new wealth. Having those universal basic income. In 2021, there was only 9 universal basic income pilot programs in America. In 2022, 82 programs across 29 states. In 2023, hundreds of pilot programs nationally. What do you think is going to happen in 2024?
And he did a video a couple of days ago, if not a day or two ago, where he talks about, the universal basic income could very well come this year. Okay. And we perceive it to be, the charagma. All right. Based off of the rate in which things are going now. Okay. We could definitely see the charagma this year, if not, the end of this year or the beginning of next year. All right. And I believe it to be sooner than, as soon as this year, man, honestly, by summertime, but hey, that's just me, speaking as a man. Okay. So let's keep playing and, close on up.
25. They're going to continue rolling out these UBI programs, printing more and more and more money, devaluing our currency more and more and more, increasing taxes. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts to the middle class, right? This is what's happening. Normal that we're now all forced. No movie could ever show you, even normal that we're now all forced to live under. Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. I think things are about to heat up in 2024 and 2025, far greater than any movie could ever show you. Even, Civil War, you've probably seen the trailer, Leave the World Behind. Sure, that was all pretty crazy. But imagine living through something like that. You don't know what people would be like when things really start to hit the fan. Within a couple days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, everything that you know would be completely flipped on its head. Drop below. Let's have a conversation. And if you'd like to fix...
See, hey, it's going to be like something like, it's not. It's gonna be far worse than our imaginations. Okay, remember the movies that they try to put in front of us as predictive programming and things of that nature. That's only a snippet. That's only a very small glimpse of which, what Esau plans on doing on the left-handed side. All right, this is Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. Okay, so Michael the archangel is going to have to stand up for us, man. It's going to be that bad. It's going to be that bad out here. Okay, that the angel, a mighty angel of the Lord, okay, is going to have to work on behalf of his elect. All right, and we just pray and hope that we are of that, man. Okay, and that's why we are, diligently, doing what we do. Okay, deliverance, man. We want to be delivered from the said perils. Okay, the Lord still has his hand stretched out, man. For the time being. Hey, but he's about to pull back here very soon, man. All right. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, that people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. Okay, so anyone that's found written in the book of life, the Lord is going to have mercy on. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 3. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where will ye leave your glory? Without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. All right? So repent while you can. All right? And that's the whole message. That's our whole message, okay? Is repentance, to teach repentance unto Israel, okay? And for them to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. So with that, I'd like to give our honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And until next time, Shalom.